Creole languages point us to possibilities. Through their dynamic development, mostly without a curriculum or dictionary, new words are created more easily than in so-called national languages. However, linguistic understanding can't be created in advance. Comprehension is the collective effort of a speech community. So, creolization is only possible when there is a certain acceptance of incomprehension. Adesso che son qui, ad analizzarmi, sono colto da un dubbio, che io forse abbia amato tanto la sigaretta per poter riversare su di essa la colpa della mia incapacità. Chissà se cessando di fumare io sarei divenuto l'uomo ideale e forte che m'aspettavo. Forse fu tale dubbio che mi legò al vizio, perché è un modo comodo di vivere, quello di credersi grande, di una grandezza latente. It's impossible to put things exactly as they happen, or in the real order, one by one, but something happened that day. And what happened was what began these, and these came later, not finding any place to set things down, then save these for later, and wait. It is not supposed to be a port when there is no territory. Our seed doesn't sprout from the ground, but from the sea. It floods in the sea and sweetens the salt. We started with shouting and carry on with silence. The first day began on the question of maybe, how to comprehend when all comprehension seemed to be true, and yet, perhaps, could also be untrue, as if something may be, and yet not be, too. The effort to become language. Beirut, at last. Traveled back on a repatriation flight, making me think about notions of home and belonging. And provided an answer. The dictionary has a set question and provided an answer. Own country. Repatriation is the return to one's own country. In my case, not the land of fathers, rather the land of my children. Je ne sais pas ce qu'ils sont, ce qu'ils devraient être. Toi, tu sais. Tu veux voir le visage de ton cauchemar. Tu veux pas le tuer. Tu veux juste te tenir en face de lui et le regarder. Je me suis vue me regarder.
Hey everyone, my name is Salma, and as part of the Spectral Encounters program, The following keywords that you see will be discussed in connection to the most recent project I, along with two other colleagues of mine, have been working on, titled Modeling Design, Sensing and Sense Making. And basically the keywords, as you can see here, are dealing with the topics of language, doing and undoing, objects, temporalities, invisibilities, tangencies, actions, displacements, and finally entanglements. The picture on the left is just an overview of what we're going to see from the project. This is a mosaic I am currently working on, made up of tinder fungus. And really, the whole point of the mosaic is questioning this, coming to the word displacement and what it means to displace fungus from the forest in order for it to serve artistic purposes, while at the same time tearing apart its entire ontology and turning it into a different form, in a sense, while still keeping its same essence, that of just being a tinder fungus. The project is a bit all over the place, I have to say. We've been working on modeling design for around a year now. We started with a heavy one semester worth of research in different fields. And this semester, we really focused a lot on applying that research. So I will be moving on to the next slide and reading the description of our project. So modeling design, as you can see here, sensing and sense making, or the subtitle, is a cross-disciplinary project looking into the interconnectedness of fungi through the production of mycelium. The intention is to develop a framework surrounding human and non-human cooperation and to challenge the dualistic separation of science by adopting a queer, feminist, indigenous one. A multimedia exhibition shows mycelium-based derivatives, including mycelium-based leather, bricks, and paintings encompassing the broader topics being dealt with through their visualization, targeting visitors interested in the interdisciplinary connections between the arts and sciences. Fungi itself is an interdisciplinary object which connects biology, art, and industry. Tools, concepts, and experiments are supposed to make or generate sense, on one hand creating or modeling the material, and on the other hand researching to find out how fungi grow, what it consists of, and how the organism itself functions. When it comes to sensing and sense making, we want to make the invisible structures visible by materializing them. Fungi thereby represent invisible social structures of othering. And here we come to the confrontation of what has been called microphobia, so the fear of fungi, and in relation to the discourses of othering. So microphobia, as I said before, entails the fear of fungi, as they are often associated with moldy surfaces and diseases, and do not fit into the binary system of either animals or plants. Fungi were long given the title of lower plants, which references their perception as being inferior to other kingdoms. This perception of inferiority has built an interest amongst queer and indigenous communities towards fungi as they saw themselves through it. Microphobia and the practice of othering have become interchangeable references relating the marginalized to the fungi kingdom. What matters and who matters are questions aimed at provoking the discourses of modern science that assumes the white male body as the default. Via sound design, materials, and paintings, structures as such become sensible. The exhibition aims to visualize and model as a practice of world making, transforming mycelium's usability and conception to make sense, and modeling its shape, structure for sensing. So really the aim of this exhibition is to go in there and to touch the material that you can see here, and that you can see here as well more clearly. Here on the right is paper made out of mushroom. So these are really just blended polypores, mushrooms that grow on tree barks. And what we did here was this very basic paper making using a decal and a mold, and we blended the mushrooms into a type of, well, smoothie, I guess you can say that, and we made paper out of it. This is a mycelium brick, and the fungi reishi has been used. There is a specific kit, like grow your own micro brick kit, sold, and this is agricultural waste mixed, grown with fungi, and basically it's limited to a certain form, in our case a brick, and afterwards it's baked in the oven. I personally did not do this. I just followed the steps alongside with Samira, who is also working on the project, and this is just one of the 6 bricks she has grown. As for the 2 pieces of leather here, one is made out of fungi, tree fungi, and the other one out of kombucha. And Teresa has a background in natural sciences and has worked along with the University of Vienna and the Institute of Chemistry to develop these. Here you can see clearer descriptions or pictures of our work process. So really, once again, going back to the keywords of doing and undoing, the mere ontology of what we perceive to be as fungi, going to the forest, displacing mushrooms from their original place to create something else out of them. And also invisibilities, how upon further, well, when you look at the material at first, you don't really notice, you don't really know, it's this really mushroom or is this something else? So once again, just these keywords we're dealing with are very, I think, visible in the project, which brings me also to the invisibilities that we were also talking about. How do you connect fungi to politics, to sensing, to othering, to indigenous and queer and feminist discourses of research? And basically, what I'm trying to do here is paint. So I do have a couple of paintings that are under process, which I will be sharing with you. This one is still ongoing, and it's called Mycelial Entanglements. Once again, bringing us to this keyword of entanglements. And it's a pretty big cardboard, I would say. I just took pictures for reference. And speaking of the undoing and doing, I probably painted over this cardboard so many times already, just because I was really unsure where I'm going with it. But due to the limited deadline and the close proximity of the festival, I'm really trying to push this painting forward. But as you can see here, I really want to showcase all of these, well, how do you say this really in a proper way? All of police brutality, demonstrations, bombings, what have you. I want to put them in one place, and then once again connecting this with the fungi. And here is just a brief illustration sketch of what mycelium looks like, and I think it really fits into the keyword of entanglements. Finally, because I'm running out of time, the painting Microphobia, moldy resistance, which is basically acrylic and mold. The mold picture you see here is coffee grounds, and it was actually funny. That was a very happy accident that happened to me a couple days ago. I forgot that I had wet coffee grounds used in the Tupperware laying around for a couple of months, and I opened it and I saw this beautiful. Some people may find it disgusting, but I just think it's just so visually appealing having these different types of mold going together in one place. And what I did was I placed these coffee grounds on the painting, and I'm I wrapped it very unprofessionally with plastic wrap. And I'm really just waiting for this to grow. I don't know if at some point I want to stop the growth, but I'm really just working with what is happening. And I think this is also where the word action comes in. It's really the whole work is a process, and it's constantly taking place. And especially mold, I think, serves as an very interesting metaphor for that, because mold is, you can barely kill it. It's very hard to kill, but it's, if you must, that if you it's a bit noisy here now, but if you subject it to heat, then it can go into a type of hibernation. And I think this serves also as a great political message for my work, and also when talking about my own identity as a Palestinian, and how it is that I can bring in these political messages to a space, to an exhibition space that is really focusing on fungi and materiality. So I think this is a challenge that I'm being presented with, and I'm excited for what's going to happen in a couple of weeks from now. So just to give you, to finally end this, I am like 2 minutes ahead of time, but just to show you how the exhibition is going to kind of look like. Like I said, there are still things that are under process, but this is just a picture of from our finals a couple of days ago. And yeah, I'm very interested in seeing how we can fit the paintings, the material, and all of these conceptions, really all of this language, into one space. So let me just go back to the very beginning, where the keywords were, and to look at them again, and to see how really a lot of these words fit so much into this project. Yeah, that will be it from my side. Thank you for listening.